How y'all doing? This is Preacher Man R&B, and this is another episode of Retro TV 91. This time I'm reviewing Arrow Season 5, Episode 1, and this is another episode of Arrow Reviews Thursdays. What happened on this week's episode of Arrow? In the flashback scenes, Oliver's in Russia, and the reason he's in Russia, last season, the woman that was with him on the island that he was trying to help was from Russia, and she tells him this name, and the character that Oliver's there to heal is played by Dolph Lundgren, but we ain't seen him yet. And what happens is Oliver goes there, and the Bratva captures him, and one of the members of the Bratva has his book and is about to shoot Oliver, but the guy from season 2 that Oliver saved, the Russian, he's a captain of the Bratva, and he saves Oliver. And at the end of the flashback scenes, Oliver has to be beaten into the Bratva to become a member. And that's all that really happens in the flashback scene. What's happening in present day, this guy named Tobias Church comes in and takes over all the gangs in Star City. And he captures Oliver Queen and 2 other people that are politicians in Star City to drive the Arrow. But Tobias Church doesn't know that Oliver's the Arrow, the Green Arrow. So he's trying to draw out Green Arrow, but he already has Green Arrow and he doesn't know that. Well, Thea has to be forced to put on the Speedy costume again to save Oliver. But this is only a one-time thing so far, because Oliver's going to start back killing, and he kills the guy, one of these bad cops that have him to keep the secret, and he kills a whole bunch of other guys during getting out of this predicament he's in. And Thea tells him she can't be a part of this no more because the killing's back on the table. She's not. So Felicity been trying to get Oliver to recruit new members for the team. And we meet Wild Dog in this episode, and at the beginning of the episode, Oliver's trying to disarm this bomb. And Wild Dog shows up while he's doing this, and Oliver has him out and then disarm the bomb. And he tells Wild Dog to stop showing up and stop trying to help the Arrow because he's not needed. And he shoots Wild Dog in the leg. Well, then Oliver finds out about 2 more people. It's the girl from last season. She's going to become Artemis, and another guy. I think this is the vigilante one that he's going to wind up becoming the bad guy because he got goggles. And in the comics, he's a vigilante, but he's also kind of a villain. We'll find more about that later. But what else is happening? Oliver finally decides to let them in, and Mr. Terrific tells him the only way that he's going to give him information on Wild Dog if he lets him be recruited as well, and that's what happens. Well, Oliver goes back, and he gets the help with some of the SPD, the Star City Police, and he got the help from Lance because Lance is back, but he's been drinking, and he's going to recruit some of his guys that he trained to help Oliver, and Oliver winds up getting the people out of there, and Tobias Church escapes in a helicopter while Oliver uses one of his arrows to hang off the helicopter and is beating down Tobias Church, but Tobias pushes him out of the helicopter, and Oliver uses his trick arrow. It's a parachute arrow, and he goes to safety. Well, at the end of the episode, Tobias Church has control of all the gangs and says now that he's the big boss. And that's all that really happened on this week's episode, besides them honoring Laurel's statue, and what Laurel asked Ollie to do as the promise is to not let her be the last canary. So let's see what happens with that. And that's all that really happened on this week's episode of Arrow. My questions for y'all is, now that Oliver is training this new team, how do y'all think they'll start off? Or do you think they'll start off bad, or they'll become a team slowly or fast? As always, this is Preacher Man R&B signing out. That's good. This is awesome. This has been another episode of Retro TV 91. See y'all next time.